from April of 2014 to December of 2017, I gained 34.5 pounds of fat. And during this time, I was on this wild ride in this very difficult, very fun, very easy, challenging, hard, crazy adventure. And it led me to where I am now. Here's my story. Hello, I am Janae Emily Utley, holistic lifestyle maven and possibility trainer. Welcome back to the channel of possibilities. So I was a very active kid. I loved moving around, and I used to beg, plead, and cry to work out with my dad. And he would let me sometimes in the capacity that I could work out as a little kid. So I started participating in organized sports when I was 12. And it was at that time that I felt like I definitely wanted to do something in the health and fitness area. At the time, I wanted to be an athletic trainer, although I didn't know that's what it was called. But that's what I desired to be, something in the health field, something in that industry. So I participated in sports all the way through high school, and I ran track all through college. Now, throughout this time, I ate decently, right? I didn't eat super bad, and I didn't eat super good either. It was decent. And as you would expect, I definitely had some things about my body that I didn't like. I wanted, a bigger bust, and I hated my stretch marks. But that was about it. I didn't have any huge weight issues. I didn't have any body issues, really, just those things. So my senior year in college, I got a new coach, and she was really big on using weight as a measure of performance, or better said, she wanted to figure out the optimal weight for her athletes to be able to perform at their optimal levels. That's the first time in my life I can ever remember being focused on weight and weight being a thing and having negative feelings associated with what a particular weight was. So now I'm out of college, and I'm still looking for competition, because I missed it. I had dedicated so much of my life to sports, and specifically track. Meeting the end of that was really hard for me, so I was looking for competition. So that's when I started getting into half marathons. So I did 2 half marathons and a Ragnar race called Hood to Coast, where it's, with my team, it was 12 women, and we separated 198 miles of running, and that was fun, and that was amazing. And then I turned from doing running races to doing fitness bodybuilding competitions, and I'm not even gonna front, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved the grittiness of it. I loved, hitting the gym, hitting the weights day in, day out, because that's what I was used to, running track at a collegiate level. And so I was strict on my workouts, strict on my food and my meals, and, strict on really looking at my body. And that's when I really began to put a magnifying glass on my weight all of the time, on the way my body looked all the time, and just was really critical of it. Now, I didn't have any viewed or skewed feelings about my body per se. I was just overly aware of, okay, Janae, your shoulder needs to be bigger here, and your calves need to be rounder here, and your butt needs to be lifted here, and your hips need to be smaller here. I was very aware of those things. Again, not in a very a bad or a negative way. So did a couple competitions, had a ball, had a blast, and then your girl got married and moved 12 hours away from home. Now, here is where everything gets spicy, because up until this point, I hadn't really counted the cost and was made aware of how the decisions that I had made would come to really affect me. So when I got married and moved, a lot of things were happening at one time, and it was not all bad, but it was not all good. So I wasn't working out as much because I really wanted to just be with my husband and hang out with my husband as much as I could in our free time. And I wasn't working out as much because I was devoting a lot of time to this new business, right? So new hubby, new business, because back home I was doing personal training in person, and here I was now trying to build an online brand, right? And then on top of that, the weather is different here. It's like cold basically for half the year, so I didn't want to move and work out because I was, cold. And, hubby and I started making more money, getting more out of debt, so we were eating out a lot more and just treating ourselves a lot more and just having these fun experiences and these fun dates a lot more. And on top of that, the thing that I, least expected was I became extremely burnt out. So not only was I not working out as much because of, what I said previously, I also wasn't working out as intensely. And I didn't have like the motivation for it. Because here's the thing that I failed to mention. After the first couple of shows that I did, I had every intention of putting on more weight, because when I leaned down, I didn't like how skinny I was. I didn't. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep competing, but this time I'm going to really try to bulk up, so when I lean down, I won't feel as skinny on stage. So I'm actively trying to put on weight while I'm also not working out as intensely and not working out as much. So I'm just chugging along, choot. And I look around and I'm like, wait a minute. Half of my real clothes don't fit no more, because I was always in workout clothes, always in sweats, so it didn't matter. And those kind of clothes, they got a little give, they got a little stretch. So if you leaning out on the left and the right, it's forgiving. So half of my real clothes didn't fit, and I was like, you know what? I got to do something about this. So I went from, this severe burnout to being like, you know what? I don't even care if I'm burnt out. I gotta get back on it. So I go back to my old tricks, doing 2-a-days, being more conscious of the things that I ate, really just going after it, right? But because I was so for real about, okay, Janae, half your clothes not fitting, and you legitimately now have to like suck in when you take pictures like that. That never was your reality, and it's your reality now, girl. Burnout or not, like, you're gonna have to keep pushing. And I even scored out a whole nother fitness competition. I even prepped for a whole nother fitness competition, which, again, hindsight, was a terrible idea because of me not realizing how fragile I really was. So competition comes and goes, and I find myself getting back to the not working out as much, and for the various reasons, just having fun with my husband and working on the business and just all of those reasons. And I just had a moment with God, and I was like, God, it has to be a better way. Like, what is this? Like, I love fitness. I know that I love fitness. I've loved fitness and things concerning it since I was a little girl. I know that one of the reasons and the purposes that you have me here on earth has something to do with fitness. It's this high that I get when I work with clients and I'm able to help them reach their goals. Like, what is this? This has to be a better way. God was basically like, Janae, you don't have enough variety. The way you train is so like structured, and it doesn't have any flexibility. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, you need to add some variety. You need to switch it up. You need to get in community. Like, you need to seek me more. You need to pray to me more. So I can give you more guidance and direction. And so that's what I did. And then I, created the Unstuck Fitness Challenge to kind of help women that were in the place that I was in. So I'm trying this, I'm doing this, time is rolling along, I'm keeping it funky and fresh, I'm trying different classes, different dance classes, different fitness classes, different workouts for myself. I'm doing short workouts mixed with long workouts. I'm not trying to overstress myself out and make it be too much. But I noticed that I'm gaining weight. Now, diet did play a role in this. And one of my mottos was, still is, and will always be balance. So I don't eat perfect, but I don't eat terrible either. Especially after getting out of, college and getting out of high school and out of my competitions where my diet was so strict, I was like, you know what? I do want to eat better. I want to make sure I'm eating more fruits and more vegetables, but I'm not going to be completely over the top for me and just say I'm gonna eat like this 100% of the time because I know myself. And this was the part that made it all like spicy, the part where I was like, I really didn't realize the magnitude of my decisions and I didn't count the cost. Because I was so strict with the first couple competitions that I did, when I was chugging along and, keeping it funky and fresh, and, working on really trying to get in a good place with fitness and figure out my love for it, if I ate healthy for a stretch of time, for like, let's say 4 days straight, I'm eating good, I would get triggered. Like, it would trigger me, and I would binge, and I would eat any and everything that I wanted to. I didn't realize just how miserable I was when I was eating so strict, preparing for those competitions, because I am a competitor at heart. It don't matter whatever the task is, it don't matter. I gets it done. And so the fact that I was that miserable, and if I would eat, healthy for a stretch of days, it would trigger me, and I would be like, oh no, like, ooh, I don't want to do this anymore, and I would just binge. I was like, okay. So that wasn't like a terrible all the time type of thing, but it was a thing, right? I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like my diet didn't have a part to play in it. I'm not. But it wasn't an extreme case. So, like I said, I'm noticing I'm keeping it funky and fresh, but I'm still gaining weight. And not only am I gaining weight, it went from me not being able to fit half of my clothes to me not being able to fit hardly any of my clothes. And then I look up, and in a span of 5 months, I had gained 10 to 15 pounds. And that was more. I gained more weight in that small stretch of time than I had in the 2 years previous. And during that small chunk of time, my period vanished, just vanished. So I'm stressed out. I'm sad. I'm angry. My period is nowhere to be found. And I'm gaining this weight, and I'm like, what is going on? It felt like every time I stepped on the scale, it was like, up, you gained 3 pounds. Up, you gained 3 more pounds. Up, you gained 3 more pounds. And I was like, what is going on? So I became really concerned about my health. So I went to my OB, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I ain't had my period in a while. Can we just run some tests? Can we do some things to see what's going on? So she's in her office, and she's examining me, and she was like, okay, I don't see anything. I don't feel anything out of place that's wrong. I've seen this. So it's looking like the hormones in your brain are not talking to the hormones in your body. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting in the office, and she's like, okay, so this is what we can do. I'm going to prescribe you these pills. I need you to, fill these pills, and then I need you to take them. And when you start taking them, I need you to tell me, because your period needs to start within this amount of time. Because if it doesn't, then we need to move some more drastic measures. I'm like, okay. So I get in the car, and I'm driving, and I just start crying. I am so upset. I am so angry at my body. I'm so angry at my body. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? What's going on with you? The stuff that I used to do to get you back together, to get you back right, it ain't working no more. Like, why are you battling me? Like, why are you going against me? Why are you trying to be my enemy? Like, why do you hate me? Like, why do you hate me, body? And so I was mad because I didn't want to take those pills. I didn't want to do medication like that. I didn't. So, as I do, when I'm upset, I went to God. Instead of going to God before the whole thing, or whatever, it is what it is, I went to him when I was already upset. So I'm like, God, what's going on? Help your girl out. I'm like, I don't want to take these pills. This is a natural process. It should happen naturally. I'm not accepting this. This is not going to be a part of my story. I'm not going to have hormonal issues. I'm not going to have body issues. I'm not. Because whenever me and my husband decide to come together and have a baby, we're going to have a baby. And this, I don't accept it. I do not accept this. This will not be a part of my story. So he was like, okay, Lil Nate, what you want to do? So I sit and I research, and I'm like, okay, I have options. I have plant-based options. I have nutrition options. I said, let me try those options. Within 2 to 3 days of me implementing some supplements in my diet, my period came back. And I was like, wow. And that created this whole shift in me, and has brought me to the point that I am right now. So many times before, I was just focused on looking the part, looking like a trainer, looking like an athlete. Wanted to be this girl, wanted to look this certain way. And I really didn't care about the health of it all, right? I am going to eat chicken and asparagus every day. That's not healthy. There's no variety in vegetables, in fruits, in grains, that's not healthy. And the look drove me. Yes, I wanted to be fit. Yes, I wanted to be healthy. Yes, I wanted to encourage my women in my tribe to make sure that their temples were intact and healthy and able to do what it needed to do to help them reach their purpose. But it wasn't until all of this happened that I really saw that my motivation wasn't all the way where it needs to be. So here I am now, focused on the health of it all. I want to be healthy so my hormones will act right, so I can live a long life, so I can have energy, so I can sleep well, so my skin can naturally be clear and heal itself without me having to go to the dermatologist or, get all of these prescriptions. I want to live a healthy life void of medications. And I know a byproduct of being healthy is that I will lose weight, and is that I will, get lean, and my hormones will act right, and my skin will clear up, and all of that. I'm not treating my body as a means to an end anymore. For me, it's a health focus. Is utilizing what God has given us in the vegetation here on earth to heal my body and keep me healthy. So what I can tell you and what I know for sure is, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you know, what your education is, what your degrees are in. It doesn't matter your journey. It doesn't. If you don't have the right mindset, the right motive, the right motivation, and the right love, then it's always and forever going to be about a look, and that's never, ever going to be enough. Even when I was my fittest and my leanest and my strongest, it was never enough. I always wanted to this needed to always be better, and that needed to be all needed to be better, and I needed to be this particular weight. And when I would reach those things, it still wasn't enough. And I'm over that. And I hope you are over that too, because one reason that we see people try these fad diets and try these, fad foods and do all of this crazy stuff is because they're worried about a weight and they're worried about a look instead of focusing on their health. When you are in a position where you're just looking for your body to be a certain way and you don't care what you got to do to get there, that's dangerous. That's always 100% of the time going to lead back to the weight gain, back to the unhappiness, back to the place that you were before. And sometimes that's even worse than losing it to begin with. It's like, it's devastating, right? It's devastating. So with that, I've created the mind, body, spirit detox because I'm on this incredible journey and I'm so happy and I'm so fulfilled in it. And I want us to do this together. So as of today, I don't have any before and after pictures because I want us to do this together. I want us to be a part of this journey together where we are truly healing our bodies and getting healthy from the inside out. And as a result of that, we're going to be in better shape and we're going to lose pounds and we're going to sleep better and we're going to have more energy and we're going to curb our appetites for things that we don't need to be eating in excess. So not just that, when I was going through all of this, I realized that I needed community and I needed a sisterhood. And I'm in a place now where I have that. And that has been so, so helpful. And not only that, just reconnecting with God. Not when I'm stressed out, not when I'm worried, not when I'm mad, not when I'm angry, but continuing to connect with God and talk to Jesus and hear from him with the help of the Holy Spirit so I can stay motivated and so I can stay in tune to what's happening with my body. Because no prescription is one size fits all. We have to lean in to God to get direction on what we specifically need at a specific time for whatever ailment or situation is bothering us. And that could be from fitness to relationships to business to just all across the board. So if you know that you are ready for a totally new experience, a totally new detox experience where you not only achieve the goal of being healthy, but you can maintain it in a way that is enjoyable and healthy and fun and that equips you to connect with your Heavenly Father and hear from him on a daily, I encourage you to sign up for this detox. There will be a link below this video. If you have any questions, let your girl know. You can say something below. That's all I have for now. Until next time, bye. Be blessed.